That was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved Starfield Direct. It showed us so much stuff. I mean, way more than I'm going to go over in this video. For now, I just wanted to give out a quick video on my initial reaction and really just to praise Bethesda for just putting on such a fantastic Direct. I mean, they really pulled it out the bag for this one. I mean, in my last video, I talked about some of the things I wanted to see in this Direct, and it was almost like they listened to what I said and showed off some of the stuff that I was desperate to see, while also, unfortunately, confirming a long-standing thing for me that is probably not going to be in the game at all, but we'll talk about that in a minute. For now, let's just go over some of the key points I think that was in this Direct, and just marvel at some of the new stuff that they've shown us. Honestly, where to even begin? There was just so much stuff. There really was. It was amazing. I mean, let's start with the visuals on the game. They looked absolutely amazing. I was so engrossed by what I was seeing on the screen that I actually failed to take a single note down to help me record this video. So yeah, I'm trying to think of all this stuff off the top of my head and also using my memory, which is terribly shocking, but there was just so many breathtaking images that were shown and visuals of the planets that I just sat there and watched the entire Direct, just marveling at what I might possibly find out there that other players might possibly never ever get to experience. You know, this procedurally generated terrain and stuff, and how they were talking about different planets between different players could be completely different apart from the handcrafted stuff, and I was just like, wow, I cannot wait to get to see some of these stunning sunrises and sunsets for myself, because the lighting looked fantastic. The only gripe I have for when it comes to the actual visuals is they just still seem to have a problem with that skin tone. I noticed they seem to have like spruced up some of the dead eye detail that I thought that they had when we saw the very first trailer showing off the Constellation folk, and I noticed that they seem to have really touched up the eyes and stuff like that, but the skin tones just still seem to fall a little flat for me. But it's a video game, not really something that stops me enjoying the game, but everything else out there that I saw visually was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, they really are just pushing the boundaries with Starfield. We also got a lot more of a look into the character creation, and we even got to see that little snippet of what I think is probably the start of the game, where you wake up and then you've got your two colleagues who are going, hey, you're finally awake. Do you remember any of this stuff? Whether there's a little snippet before then that is showing us finding something and that's why we're knocked out, or whether the game literally is just us waking up on that bench with the two people standing over us handing a screen going, make your character. But nonetheless, it was nice to actually see them showing us exactly how expansive the character creation can be, and then they also delved into showing us more of the backgrounds and traits again, so we can see if there had been any slight changes. And at initial view, I don't really see much that's changed from what we'd already known that had been changed, but it was actually really nice to see them going a bit more in depth and showing us what we could do with those. And then also our character skills. I mean, I'm already really in love with the way the character perks and skills works, you know, where you actually, the more you use a skill, the more reward you have for using that skill, and that's that sort of RPG element that I really love. You know, you level up, you get your skill point, you unlock the skill, but in order to get better at that skill, you have to use that skill. If you don't use that skill, then you're not going to get any better at it. And I think that's the best way to do RPG games. So seeing that more in action and seeing some of them like showing off, like, you know, we can control alien creatures with our minds, I thought was it was a fantastic way of showing off the skill tree, and I'm really excited to start theorizing about what kind of different builds I can make. And yeah, that's got me pretty excited, I can't lie. And one final bit before we move on from this bit was the adoring fan. Honestly, I laughed so hard. Is that even the same voice actor? I need to check that up, but when the adoring fan showed up with the same hairdo as Oblivion, I laughed out so loud that my kids even came into the room going, "Daddy, are you okay?" I was just like, I'm fine. I just thought that was just a fantastic little bit there that was just like a nod to the fans from the adoring fan, and then, you know, them talking about how you can get rid of these things. Yeah, but we'll leave that to your own imagination, but I'm sure that's going to happen a lot with that adoring fan. Next, we have the exploration side of things, and they showed off so much, and for the most part, I really enjoyed what I saw of how we explore all the planets and how we can go about. But the one disappointment I had was that it looks like, yeah, walking and jump pack are the only modes of transport when we're exploring, and I was a bit disappointed at that. And when they talked about how you explore is the ship lands, and then you explore the area that you've landed in. And I don't know if I'm the only one that suddenly took that as going, wait, does that mean we're in an enclosed area? Are we actually landing in sort of like a Fallout-sized map? We can walk around it and explore it with the jump pack, but we don't go far enough where we start to feel like we should have a more mechanized form of transport in the form of, you know, like a motorbike or a hovercraft. And it also means that we're probably not going to have anything within atmosphere flight either, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting land vehicles though. But if it does turn out that we're landing in zones and we're trapped in these zones by invisible barriers, I can almost understand why land vehicles aren't a thing. But if we are able to walk all the way around, because it could just be we explore an area, and when we're bored of exploring, we have the option to either walk back, or we can just fast travel back to our ship, and then any of the locations that we reveal on the planet, we can then essentially leave orbit and then fast travel back to that planet. Or even, I think we're going to have that fast travel system where we can fast travel around the planet by just using the planet map. But I still think the exploration is going to be excellent. I just was disappointed that it's just going to be on foot and jump pack. And then there's lots of jump pack skills that could probably make your jump pack better, but yeah, I'm just waffling now about it. But yeah, that was the only bit for me that I was slightly disappointed at when they showed it off, because I guess I was just hoping that there was going to be a much faster way of going round, but I imagine if the game is going to be struggling to get to 60 frames, that racing around in a vehicle at high speed with all this terrain might cause people's frame rates to absolutely crash. So I guess we'll just have to wait for the modders to sort this one out. So yeah, if anyone could make Canada's motorbike for me, that would be fantastic. Thanks in advance. Leading on now to the combat, that I have to say looked thoroughly enjoyable to me. If anything, I thought with the way it was jump packing around and shooting, it very much reminded me of Mass Effect Andromeda when I modded Andromeda to make the jump pack a lot more responsive and also changed the way the shooting worked. And I got that fantastic feel from watching the direct that this combat is going to be something I'm going to really, really enjoy. And I know it was a bone of contention with some of the fan base, but honestly, I don't have an issue with it at all. It's going to be weird. I kept expecting to see a VAT system and that wasn't in it at all. I don't think it's a game that actually really needs a VAT system. It was just something that I just automatically go sci-fi, Fallout, VATs. It's not needed in this game, and it's clear that it doesn't. So I'm very much excited to try the combat. I like how they're also, you know, giving us a wide variety of ways that we can go into combat, all the way from unarmed to long-range sniper rifles. It just seems to cover all the bases for me. I cannot wait. Revolver wielding cowboy. That's going to be a character at some point, I swear. Then we have the space combat, which also looks like it's going to be really good fun. I didn't hear them say anything at all about HOTAS support though, so I know there's going to be quite a vocal group there who are going to be asking what's happening with that. Myself going to be playing it on the Xbox at release, so I'm quite comfortable using a controller now for flying a ship. To be honest, I even use a controller the last few times when playing flight games on my PC, because my controller, my joystick actually broke, so I don't have one that currently works. It can only go one speed, and that's not even forward. The Starfield's space combat looks like it could be good, fun, fast, furious, and I also loved the interaction between changing up your weapon settings, between your engine and stuff like that. It screamed at me at good old X-Wing where you get to go, hey, should I have better weapons, shields, or engine power? I love that element of control, that if I need to skedaddle out of somewhere really quickly, I can just boost the power to my engines and get the flock out of there. But overall, yeah, I'm really excited for the combat in Starfield. I think it's going to be good, fun, paced, with so many different varieties of ways that you can go about it. You know, full-on action, full-on stealth, a mixture of the two. It's going to be curious if you can even do a pacifist playthrough. I know that's something that quite a few people had asked for. Me, I'm probably not going to be a pacifist at all, unless maybe if there's an achievement for it, but I don't really care about that stuff anymore. But maybe one day I'll do a pacifist playthrough. Maybe. Probably not. We also got a bit more of a reveal of our companions that we can get in the game. Most of them at the start are people to do with Constellation, and it was nice just to get an understanding of how we go about getting them, and also what kind of perks they have, how they become recruited. But it was also nice to see them showing us like how we can go up to people in different places. I think you can only ever find them in where did they say it was, starports or something like that, and you can go up and you can recruit people from there that you meet there, which is kind of cool, you know. So it shows you the perks. It kind of reminded me of the what was it, the Final Fantasy X Blitzball scouting system, where it was like, what good skills do you have? And while they didn't go in depth too much about how the companions worked, I felt that they showed off just the right amount to kind of wet the whistle and just kind of keep us excited for who we will meet out there in the voids of space, but also travel with us in the comfort of our own ships. I thought that was a nice wee touch, you know. Not too much, not too little, just right. Okay, so they also covered base building and the shipbuilding as well, and oh boy, was that a lot of fun. With the base building, I really liked that they didn't show off a huge amount more. I mean, I guess it's pretty much a lot like what we've already seen, just a little bit more in depth about when we recruit people, we can send them to our outposts, and depending on how... depending on what skills people have will dictate sort of how our outposts will be run. So yeah, that was really nice. But oh my word, the shipbuilding! Oh, I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I think this is going to be some absolutely amazing constructions that people are going to make. I mean, what they even showed in this direct was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, the sheer scope of what players can build looks amazing. And the great thing is that you don't even have to do it. They've got a simplified version. If you just want to upgrade your firepower or your armor and you don't want to mess around with how your ship looks, you've got this way of just upgrading the bits that are already on your ship. Or if you want to go absolutely out there and just build an absolute massive ship, you can. And, you know, they showed off what basically looked like Optimus Prime. It was amazing. I think the scope for it is fantastic. And, you know, they also confirmed we can have more than one ship. Yay! I'm going to be able to have a fleet of different vessels. And they also have the ability for you to display weapons and things like that in ships. So I'm probably going to end up creating a museum ship if we can actually just have all of our weapons on displays and then other things. The, you know, Legacy of the Dragonborn player in me just really wants to have something that I can show off all the delicious stuff that I've found. And if we can do that on a ship that we can take around with us, that would be absolutely fantastic. Bethesda really have gone out of their way to give us an expansive and detailed shipbuilding system, and not even looking at what mods will bring into this, the sheer scale of the constructions that people can make. This is just looking so fantastic. I was so over the moon when I saw what they revealed here, and yeah, I mean, there's not really much else you can say about it. It looked absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to start designing and building my own ship, and yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It really is. I'm so excited for shipbuilding. Okay, so the final thing I probably should mention at this point is pre-orders are live. Yeah, they announced it during the direct. There was the collector's edition, which comes with the watch, which I'm going to have to make sure I get out there and pre-order that, because I'm a sucker for collector's editions for Bethesda games. I really am. Plus 5 days early access for this collector's edition, and I think there's they said the deluxe edition has 5-day early access. It's day one on Game Pass, but they also announced that there's the controller and also a set of headphones. So yeah, if you're considering getting the game at all, I would highly recommend that you decide whether you want to either get Game Pass and play it day one through Game Pass, or if you're wanting any of the like collector's editions or something out there, that you're going to have to get out there and pre-order it, especially if they're tying that 5-day early access into these collector's editions or something, which I guess is, you know, to make up for it being day one on Game Pass. I guess they're really going to be trying to play on our FOMO here, and they've suckered me in pretty well. I'll not even deny it. I'll be rushing out in the morning to go and pre-order my collector's edition because I want one, and I'm guessing, judging by the way people have been asking in the Discord server, that they're really hoping that there's going to be enough collector's editions for people online. Oh, I remember the Fallout 4 collector's edition malarkey very well. Anyone who physically ordered it in a shop got it. People who ordered it online, they were getting emails all the time going, sorry, we don't have a copy for you, we took too many pre-orders. So hopefully it's a lot smoother this time, and anyone that does actually pre-order the game is able to get the edition that they ordered. Alright, that's it. That's my initial opinions of the Direct. I need to go back now and watch it so many more times. I need to take down notes. I want to do a much more in-depth view. I'm sure I've missed plenty that they revealed at this Direct, and I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to have different opinions about what they saw, and I'd love to hear your different opinions. Were you happy with what they showed? Me personally, honestly, I couldn't have asked for any more. It pretty much covered everything. I mean, we even got to see some weather that wasn't sunshine. It was fantastic. But I'm going to do an in-depth video. I just wanted to get this one out just now because I'm bursting at the seams with how much I enjoyed watching that. So if you'd like to hear more about what I think about Starfield and anything else that I play, then, you know, feel free to like and subscribe. If not, just your views are more than enough, and the interactions I have on my channel have been fantastic so far. I'm really grateful for everyone that takes the time to actually get in touch with me and comment on my videos, so we can have some conversations. But yeah, we're on the other side of the Direct. It's now 3 months. 3 months until Starfield comes out. And if you're lucky enough to get one of the pre-orders, 5 days less than that. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. So until the next video, I hope you all have a lovely time and take care.